What is going on, everybody? Brandon Hanley here, Fatherhood for the Rest of Us, voice of a generation. Of course, generation of fathers that give a damn. And I am here in Philadelphia. I'm in West Philadelphia, born and raised. Come on, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air people. Attending the podcast movement 2018. There's about, my understanding is, I think over 2,000 registrants. At least 1,000 in attendance, if not more. I assume that there's more if there's 2,000 registrants. But, Meg asked me, she goes, are you learning anything? And for a second, I couldn't really take it all in. There's so much information coming in, and there's so many people that I'm getting to run into who I know online, and I get the opportunity to meet some of these people that I've only heard or seen on Facebook or heard or seen on podcasts. And so it's really exciting to be able to reach out and touch somebody in 3D, just in real life, shake the person, like Andy Storch, Vincent Pugliese, Justin Bailey. I've gotten the opportunity to shake hands, and this is a big deal for me, is shake hands with Jordan Harbinger of Art of Charm. And so you get to see some of the people that you have not necessarily used as your role models, but they've inspired you to take action. And that's what's really cool about podcasting, is that you can drive around and basically have somebody in your ear and having a conversation with you. And a lot of people are probably already familiar with that. Like if you've ever been a fan of Howard Stern or your favorite morning show when you're driving into work, or even at work when you're just listening to your favorite radio station. Well, now with podcasting, you've got the opportunity to kind of hand select your favorite person, your favorite friend, or maybe what was the guy with Google? He is the project manager for Google's new podcast application. Zach, I had a conversation with him, and just being able to reach out to these people and talk to these people. But, as he was learning how to code from high school, he was listening to podcasts. So podcasts help you in so many different ways and inspire you to take so many different directions that it's really awesome. And of course, if you don't know me, or if you know me, that I do a fatherhood podcast, and it means so much to me. It means the world to me, and I've told this story plenty of times, but I'll tell a little bit more of it again. There was a moment when it was just getting started where Finn had walked into the office, and he said, hey, Dad, can we do, I forget exactly what it was that he wanted to do, but he asked if we could go do something. And before I had the opportunity to answer, he goes, I know you're busy. And he turned around and he walked out of the office, and I was like, no way. And I could see the look on his face, I could see his shoulders slump, and it was a change for me in my world that I had to make my video match the audio. There was I couldn't be doing this fatherhood podcast and not be living what I was saying. And that's the other reason why I'm in attendance at some of these events. I'm at Podcast Movement. Went to Dad 2.0 this year and met a lot of amazing people, a lot of amazing connections. But I can't, in good faith, sit here and tell anybody else that they should go live their dreams, that they should get up, that they should invest in themselves. I've got a coach. I'm investing in myself. I'm, buying books, taking courses, and doing all these things, and getting out there and going and doing it, all so that I'm embodying, exactly what I'm talking about. And there's no two ways about it. And same thing that I'm finding when I meet these people. Even Zach, as young as he is, he's embodying, from Google, embodying what he's talking about. He's got a passion for the podcast, and he gets the opportunity to touch 2 billion people. 2 billion people, that's a B. I'm lucky if I'm touching like 200 or something, man, and I'm cool with that. But so some of the takeaways have been that I get to be around all these people living out their dreams, and people. Pat Flynn spoke yesterday. If you're in a podcast community or passive income community, you know who he is. And he brought his son out on stage with him, and the two of them are doing a podcast, which of course, hey boys, get ready, we're going to do a podcast. Finn and Liam, so just having that opportunity to see somebody else inspire you to take that action. Have I recorded the boys? Have we gone through that and done it? Yeah, but never taking it further than that, because you're always worried about the perception that that the kids are being put in front of the screen, or that they're in danger from getting that kind of publicity. But just kind of inspiring to see that. Now, on the flip side of that, and one of the reasons that really just inspired me to turn this on today was that I took an Uber ride in yesterday from West Philadelphia into Center Philly, and the car driver, she's a teacher, and she teaches in a predominantly Hispanic school, and she herself had been she came from parents of educators, and she herself had gotten a scholarship from track and field, full ride, went and got her education, and worked really hard to get her education, became a teacher, and she's surrounded by a bunch of just all these kids are so bright and so smart, and they just want to learn, and they just want attention, and so she's surrounded by all these kids, and she was telling me multiple stories of kids whose parents, and especially this one, she talked about this girl who gets straight A's, just kind of walking in, has no problem, just young girl, and she also was able to do like track and field. I believe she was able to do track and field, but the gist of this story is that the young girl's mother was approached because she, for some reason, began getting lower grades because she had a new sibling born, and now the young girl has to be at home to babysit while the mom goes out, and has to earn a living in a way that a lot of us don't have to, right? And so the young girl is at home babysitting and not being able to make school all the time, and is not being able to make track and field events. And so the guidance counselor approaches this teacher and says, "Hey, can you reach out to the mom? Can you reach out to the mom?" And so she reaches out to the mom, and they tell her that the young girl only has to go to a couple weeks of summer school, and she'll be able to pass and move on to the next grade. Otherwise, she's going to be held back. So, so she goes and she tells the mom, and the mom goes, "Well, listen, we've got vacation planned on those 2 weeks. We're not going to be able to. She's not going to be able to go." And so the young girl, is being held back and not going to be able to go to school because the vacation was more important to the mother and that family than allowing and making space for a way for her child to progress. And and then the other part of the conversation that the teacher had with the mother was, she's a really bright girl, and she could, if she just had a little bit more time and was able to focus on her studies, she would be able to get a full scholarship into school. And like, my heart's welling up, guys. This just pains me. Is that the mom goes, she's not going to go to school. She's not going to go to college. My daughter's not going to go to college. I didn't go to college, and they do all kinds of things to you in college. They put pills in your drinks, and they they rape you and all this other stuff. And so whatever skewed version of the world that this mother has, and whatever she believes is holding her daughter back, and she's not given any space for the opportunity for success for her daughter. And so here a lot of us are breaking our backs and looking for every which way to give our children an opportunity to have either a better life or just as good of a life, or try to model ourselves as the best that we can be for our children. And there's a flip side for that. That's not happening for every, we maybe we're surrounded by this, and we're trying to keep up with the Joneses, but that's not happening everywhere. It's not even like, look, we're trying to keep up with the Joneses. We're just trying to do our thing. It's not happening everywhere. And not everybody's like you. Not everybody's putting that best foot forward. Not everybody's, looking out for their kids. And so I feel for those families. I feel for those kids. And at the same time, it's like, keep doing what you're doing, because not everybody's doing what you're doing. Not everybody's putting that best foot forward. I mean, it's you know, it's a shame. You know, how can you help those kids who think that they're shit? You know, their parents are actively, you know, not giving them that opportunity. So keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop.